Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I am so glad to be with you on this fine Monday, March 25th, 2024. So listen, we have January, February, March. 3 months. We are 3 months in, a fourth of the way throughout the year, and I have a question for you. How's your year going? Have you crushed some of the goals that you stated that you were going to crush in January, on January 1st, when that ball dropped? How many of your goals have you accomplished? I hope that you have a plethora of them that you have accomplished and that you have crushed. Because if you are tuned in, then you must be a goal digger, GOAL digger. So that means that you are doing exactly what you said you were going to do. So hello, Jazzy crew. Welcome to episode 115 of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. I see that my special guest has requested to come on, and she's going to come on in just a second. But I want to tell you happy Monday. I want to tell you that this Monday and every Monday is your restart, reset, regroup button. It is your day that you get permission, that you get a reminder about the fact that you can reset your goals, you can reignite yourself and propel yourself for the rest of the week. I hope you guys have had a great Monday. I had a busy Monday, but it was really, really, really great. And I love being here with you, my Jazzy crew, because I get to pour into you. I get to inspire you to continue to strive for your goals by presenting some of the most dynamic people that I know personally and some that I am meeting for the very first time, who are here to inspire you to believe that now is the time for a dope comeback. I believe you can make a comeback from anything with God, the right resources, knowing how to use those resources effectively, and your willingness to do the work. When you have all three of those, you are on the trajectory to make a dope comeback. So listen, I had the pleasure, I just want to kind of do like a recap of my weekend because I had a busy weekend, crazy busy. I was able to bring the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast in live action at the second annual Haines City Children's Literacy Festival. Great job to Whitney Sims, the creator, and her team, all of the sponsors, all of the donors, all of the vendors, everyone that I met, all of the authors. Listen, this festival was so amazing and it has grown. Y'all, we had Marvel's Bumblebee in the building. We had Jack Hartman in the building. If you know anything about literacy, then you know that those kids were all over Jack, right? And so adults were like, oh, it's Jack Hartman. Oh, it's Jack Hartman. Like, listen, we had a cracking, right? And so thank you so much to everyone that participated. We had two dynamic hosts. It was just amazing. Two dynamic DJs. Look, all those kids got so many different resources. The parents were able, and they are now equipped to help their children with those phonemes and phonemic awareness. And they got an opportunity to meet real life authors where they can pick up a book and say, hey, I actually met this author and I'm reading his book. So thank you so much, Whitney, for inviting the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast to host a live session. And we will be back on, I think it's March 25th of next year. We will be back. It's either the 22nd or the 25th, but I'll come back and I'll correct it and let you know which one it is because I don't want to spread false information. I also want to give a shout out to Katina Campbell, who had her Essence of Woman festival in Winter Haven. So many great performances there. The ambiance was amazing. So it was like music, gospel music, jazz music by the water in Winter Haven. And we just had a great time. So thank you for keeping my schedule booked and busy. And I look forward to many more events. So you can always book this podcast to come to your event, to have live interviews. I would love to have them on my show. All right. And so last but not least, I want to give you some information about voting for the Polk County Public School Board. So Mr. MJ Wright MJ is running for seat 2 of the Polk County Public School Board, which is in the Four Corners area. It's the east corridor of the county. And he's a very hard worker. He's not a stranger to our school board. He is not a stranger to how policies are made via our school board. He's no stranger to collaboration. He's no stranger to working boots on the ground in our community. He is a community leader. He is a servant leader, and he's very knowledgeable. He's made his own African American history himself. He went through Summerlin's program, matriculated through all the way to an HBCU, to Bethune-Cookman University, and he is just a wealth of knowledge. He's so knowledgeable, and he's so caring and committed. So make the right choice for all, and I want you to vote for MJ Wright for Polk County School Board seat 3, and that voting will be on August 20th. So you know what you are here for. You are here for another fantastic episode of this podcast. This podcast celebrates the power of the comeback. Viewers and listeners, you are about to be entertained, informed, inspired along the journey of listening to one of my special guests' comeback stories. And she's going to tell you everything that she has coming up in the near future. This Wednesday, I want you to support her event. You know how when you're young and you just have an innate talent for something? Well, my special guest is Miss Donyea, aka Star Tollie, and she is the CEO. She's the brainchild behind Rejuvenation Homes LLC. This amazing design company is an interior design company that, no lie, she got the idea from designing in her grandmother's garage. She has been so talented since the day that I met her in middle school. And I just remember from singing to drawing to painting to just being a go-getter. She never, ever backed away from a challenge. She was always at the forefront of doing something creative. And that has led her into such a dynamic career in interior design. She's a graduate of the International Design of Technology in Tampa, Florida. So she's bad, y'all. She has been in different publications. So you can look her up. You can Google her and you will find her. And she's just making so many smart business moves, and I know that you're going to be inspired by her, and you're going to be inspired by what's to come that she's going to tell you about. And so make sure when she comes on, you show her some love from, and just say hi, say happy Monday, and all of that good stuff. Miss Star Tollie is going to be joining us very, very, very soon. I thought I had her. I'm going to go ahead and request her again. Star, I'm waving at you because I know I see you. I see you, girly. I know we'll be connecting in just a minute. And so I see, is that Tavares that I see? Boss Fest was joined in. Shout out to Boss Fest. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are tuned in, I certainly appreciate it. So Donyea, try to request me again because Facebook is not being my friend right now. So we're gonna try to get you on, see if you can see my request. What do y'all have going on this weekend is what I also wanted to know. Because these weekends, for me, these weekends are being busy. Booked, and busy, and busy, and busy, and booked, and busy, and busy, and booked. So we're trying to get her on here. Star, go ahead and try to request me again. Rejuvenation Home Studios is here. She says I don't see it. So you try to request me. See if you can try to request me. I hear you.
Okay, I think I got it. I think.
You do, because I hear you.
Okay.
So it likes to play peekaboo sometimes. If you guys can see both of us, just let us know. Because this happened once before, and I was like, I don't see you. And people were like, Jazz, we can see you. Like, we can see both of you
I
guys.
see you. I see a split screen.
You see a split screen. Okay. So as long as you do, that is fantastic. We are cooking with grease. How's your day been?
It's been good. You know, Monday is Monday, so
Monday is a beautiful day. You ain't gonna come over here talk about Mondays. You know,
I'm coming off of a busy weekend, and I'm gonna just say I need a weekend from the weekend.
you need a weekend for the listen. Someone asked me today, you know how you pass by your coworkers and they're like, well, how was your weekend? And it's like, for the first time in a long time, I was just like, girl, I needed like one more day. Like I was like, I don't know what it was, but it was like when Sunday night hit, I was like, oh my, like I gotta start all over again.
Yeah, I would say it's just catching up because I use my weekends unfortunately for coming off of it and not getting much done. I was
Yeah.
productive today, I will say that. But thank you so
Okay.
much for that introduction. You had me thinking about when you said singing. Do you remember when my sister and I sung the national anthem at at the basketball game?
Yes. Listen, I thought you was about to say when you tried to have us try to sing with y'all. I was gonna be like, girl,
Oh,
yes, but yes, I do remember when you and Larissa got up there, when you and Pumpkin got up there and sung. I do. What do you remember about that?
oh gosh, being extra nervous because it's one thing to say that you're going to sing in
Yes.
front of a crowd, and then it's another thing actually singing in front of a crowd.
Yes.
But we did decent, young,
You did.
it,
You did. You made an everlasting impression. You did. But the thing about it is you guys have always been, although you guys are twins, you're unique in your own right. But one thing that you guys share is that go-getter spirit. Like you guys were always coming up with different ideas, different suggestions, things that you guys wanted to do in the community, at the school. Do you remember how we started our own step team?
that part right there, we sure did. We sure did. We sure did. I do remember.
That listen, I'm telling you, stuff like that, it pierces like your brain, because I look back at stuff like that, like the things that we used to think about doing in high school, the things that we used to think about doing in middle school, and then onward in our lives. And it's like, yo, like sometimes people are just born with it. They're just born with that spirit to just get up and go and get up and do. And so where do you think that came from, and like how does it feel to have that trait?
Oh man, the best way I could put it is you either have it or you don't. I will say, I was that shy girl. Um,
Mhm.
you know, I was when I was younger, I was perfectly okay being in the background, perfectly okay. But there were times where I knew I was supposed to be doing more, right?
Yeah.
But when the times came and the opportunity presented itself and I was doing more, I liked it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted more of it. So, um, and then I always felt like I never really hit my, full potential in anything. Now
Hmm.
I am. Now I feel like I am. And I remember you doing an interview with me, probably, it had to be at least 20 years ago. I don't know. But listen, you asked me what it is that I wanted out of life. I
Yeah.
did not answer for you. And I remember
Yeah.
still remember it to this day. But now when I push forward, like so many years later, which is what we're not gonna say how old we are, but so many
We're
years later,
still young. We're still young.
I don't know about you, but I feel 20. Um, so coming into where I am now, I feel so like comfortable with who I am and what I represent. And every day that I walk out of this house, I know I step with faith. I walk into a room and I know I'm supposed to, take over it. I'm just not saying that I'm like full of myself. It's just that I'm
Yeah.
confident in myself. I know who I am. I know what I represent every time I walk out of the door.
So listen, I was recently at a meeting, and one of the members um in this meeting started talking about your brand, who you are, the things that you do, the things that you say, the things that you participate in, they all encompass your brand. And so you say that you know who you are, you're confident in who you are. How would you describe yourself and your brand?
Oh, let's see. I am definitely owning the fact that I am a Black owned, woman owned business. Um, and I infuse color, culture, and character into everything that I do. Um,
Color, culture, and character. Okay.
um, I am known for the big hair, um, for my frames. So I try to represent that every time I walk out of the door, no matter what. When people see me, they automatically identify me and automatically look to see what frames I'm wearing this time. Um, so, gosh, that's really just just being a mother of four, a
Mm-hmm.
wife. Um,
Gorgeous family.
thank um,
You're welcome.
a,
Talented family.
they doing their thing. They doing their thing. Um, just being this person that is on a constant journey.
Hmm.
And what I will tell you is, it's not about the destination. Your
Hmm.
journey. I'm always open and willing to learn new things. I don't know it all, but if I don't know it, I'm gonna go find out about it. I'm gonna go read up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my research. I'm just all I can encompass is I'm reaching for star every day, reaching for star.
I love that. Reaching for star. I think like if everybody put their name into that, like I'm reaching for jazz. Like
Yeah,
that's so profound. Like when you put your name at the end of that statement, I like that a lot and I'm stealing it. Just so you know, I'ma steal it. I like that a lot.
thank you.
Reaching for star. Listen, so you mentioned your hair. And I didn't know this, but I am in Leadership Lakeland. I am in the class 40, right? And so one of my classmates owns the beauty salon that you go to. And I saw your that well she one of the hairstylists did your hair. I'm not sure if you frequent them often, but um Patricia Urich, I don't know if you know her or not, but she's the owner of the salon, and the salon's name, it escapes me right now, but it's a
It's
beautiful salon that has the butterflies on it. What's the name of it? Because I know you know.
salon.
What is it?
Venue salon.
I don't know why you keep breaking up when you say that first part.
Really?
Uh
Um,
huh.
then you salon. Venue, like a venue.
Venue.
Yes.
That's right. Venue Salon. Don't kill me, Patricia. If you come back and you watch episode 15, episode 115, I love you. And I love her. Like Patricia is she's such a great spirit, and she's just like another woman boss that I like. I'm gonna have to invite her on this podcast very soon because she has an interesting story as well. But yeah, I was looking at her page because I was trying to support her with something, and I saw you and I was like, look at Star.
So I know Patricia from a local networking group
Okay.
that we're in together, and I will
Okay.
tell you, I automatically beeline to her just spirit when I first met her,
Yeah.
and invited me to come and do a couple of classes because she's always constantly, educating her staff on, different things. And one of the things is, how to do this type of hair. So I've been to a couple of classes where she's actually invited someone else to do training to teach.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is one of those dope spirits. Like she's just like a light. Like when we have our meetings, which we actually will be meeting this week, but I always like find myself around her. Like she's always so, like you said, she's so eager to learn. Somewhat like someone that I know right now that I'm talking to on this podcast. And so like I swear it's like because I've had the opportunity, the pleasure to work with you firsthand. um you do have that personality that you are, about the business. Like you want everything to be just a certain way, and that comes from you just with your eye, with your design aesthetic. Like you have to have it like that specific way, and it is typically like a great blueprint. And it's like
Yeah.
it got to the point where if you were doing something, even if it was a flyer, even if it was like you started doing setups where you would promote your business, and it's like even if I didn't know you were there, I would pass by it and I'm like, that looks like Star's work, and like sure enough that would be you. And so how long did it take you to get your design aesthetic? Like, you said you do color, culture, and character in every single one of your designs. That's your brand. And so how long did it take you to evolve into that?
I have been doing this thing for going on 20 years,
Hmm.
and I didn't come into my own aesthetic really until I actually had a chance to do real projects, where I actually was hired to do other people's houses. And I
Right.
found that if I didn't inject myself into these designs, then I wasn't emotionally attached to it. And I feel like for me to design a room for someone that is, looking to hire me, I need to be somewhat emotionally involved.
Yeah.
And my whole premise is I do want to design for the end user in mind, but I need to make sure that it has the Rejuvenation Home Studio touch and feel
Yeah.
and my very first project, luckily, I do know that I kind of started off in the bohemian style. And my very first project was modern farmhouse bohemian. All things wrapped up into one. So, me going on that journey to find what that aesthetic was, I found myself, injecting myself with each piece that I curated. So there was a touch of ethnic, a touch of color, a touch of rustic, texture, anything that you name. There was it was somehow connected to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that it has evolved over time, and the more projects and the larger projects that I do, I have really defined my process down to this goes first, this goes second. But my design process is very meticulous, and it's not like anyone else's. Like when you work with me, you can't compare me to another designer. Your process, the process that you work with me, the design process is curated for you, but
Hmm.
I've created this process that helps me get to the place where I'm comfortable with presenting end product to you.
Okay. So if I were to book you, because listen, I'm trying to get my coins together so that I can hire you and not have to say, hey, I need a hookup. So listen, I'm getting my coins together, right? And so I've been talking to you about this balcony that I have outside of my bedroom, because it's like I before I move on here, because this is not my forever home, but I at least, and me and you had this conversation before, because we were, I think, at the same time wanting to like or exploring going to another house, or
Yeah.
you decided to redesign yours. And so I cannot imagine what your house looks like now, because I know it does not look the same from the last time that we were there doing the podcast there. So I know you changed some things, because I saw you do some things online, and I know I inboxed you. I was like, oh, I like the way you did that ceiling, like when you painted the ceiling, or like what you did to the ceiling, like that black and white. That is just me. And then we were talking, because I'll run into you in Home Goods, or I'll run into you like, and I'm like, you buying stuff for another project, and I'm window shopping. But I really want to redo this balcony that I have outside of my bedroom. And so your design aesthetic and your process to get the client's input, but to also merge you into it. If I'm a client and I want to book you, what would that experience be like? Like, give me an overview of how would we vibe together? Because and then you used to do like drawings to redesign someone's house online, and I'm like, what in the world? This girl is amazing. So,
Girl,
just with just with the first question, like, what would a session with Star entail?
so the first thing that you do is you do fill out a contact form on my website, rejuvenationhomestudio.com. that will prompt I have an onboarding system,
Okay.
because it's getting out of control with calls and emails and things. You will get a prompt to, you're going to get my welcome email, and it's going to have everything about Rejuvenation Home Studio and introduce me to you. And then within there, you're able to book a discovery call. So it's a 30-minute non-committal call between you and I. And that's where I'm
Okay.
asking specific questions, because I want to make sure that we're a good fit, not only for myself, but for you too. So there's questions that evolve around, what the project entails, what the budget is, and then also, time frame, and style. So
Yeah.
there are other questions, but those are probably the top hitters that I want to make sure that, we're not wasting each other's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that's pretty much what happens. And then from there, we'll book a consultation, that where I will come directly to your house, and we'll ask more. I have a questionnaire as well.
Okay.
Once you fill out, but before I go to the consultation, you have a questionnaire that asks you specific questions about your personal style, your aesthetic, like, is this your forever home? I'm just finding out all the little, things to help me, guide you in the direction to pick the right service that's going to fit for you. So once we do that and we're in place, to some degree, I have made a connection with you, on the phone, but that's not enough of a connection where I can be like, okay, we got a vibe,
Yeah.
So at the consultation, I'm really big about making sure that that meet and greet phase, that's all about, okay, let me see if we can catch a vibe. And
Yeah.
sometimes it might be a little awkward, but once I connect with you, maybe it be family. I really can't connect with anybody on pets.
Yeah.
I try my best, but man, family, it could be, your type of house, because I just have a love for certain style houses. Usually it's a historic house or something, and I'm asking you stories about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a question that I want to go into that I picked up in the discovery call. Maybe it's about, where you worked or where you lived before, and those types of things. But I'm trying to connect with you in that first 5 minutes of us actually sitting down, and I can't help it. When I walk into the house, I'm already like,
Yeah.
I'm already designing. And I'm taking those notes necessary for me to be, helpful to you, because when it is a paid consultation, but by the time we leave,
Yeah.
upon my leave, I want you to be sure, okay, I got to hire this girl to get her started on my project
Yeah.
ASAP.
Look, I can imagine you. I know you don't do this, but I'm like, I know you probably want to be like, okay, move this couch, move this. Why is that lamp right there? Like, what?
I have actually done that in the, actual consultation. Like, we got to move this shit.
Like, I can imagine it, because I know that if I were to do what you were doing, I probably would do the same thing. I would be like, can I show you real quick?
Right.
Like,
You
I need to just show you.
believe it. And then once it happens, it's like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna tell you. Well, one thing. Well, I'll come to that later. But one thing I wanted to share with you. First of all, Star is not a new guest on this podcast, because I had Star on my podcast way back for episode 27. And we are now at episode 115. So from episode 27, and if I do this podcast weekly, then you know that she has grown, because we have gone over, like, we're almost 100 episodes past the time that I met her in just a short few a few episodes. And so I one of the things that really just amazed me when we were talking about design, because I was telling Star that I I will just get in my car and I would just ride. And I love looking at homes. I love looking at the way that a designer designs the home. Like it got to the point where I was telling her about this one designer because I know she does like new homes. She designs new construction. It was designed by Christy. And so we were talking about her, and I was just telling Star how I met her, and I was just like, I can pick out a house that you have designed, but I just like to take like long rides and I'll just look at houses. And so one day I was taking a ride, and I love these little hidden neighborhoods. Like when there's a lot of greenery, like matured oak trees. Yeah, that's my type of neighborhood because I know it's going to be like a hidden jewel back there. And sure enough, it was this home that looked like it was about to be renovated or it needed to be renovated. And it was a modern style home, but brick, but a lot of glass. And I remember sitting down at dinner with you and I started describing this house to you, and you knew exactly what house I was talking about because it happened to be one of Frank Lloyd Wright's designs. And y'all, guess what? Why was Star published with being the designer that was going to stage this home for this magazine? And when I say my mouth was wide open, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, are you serious? Like, because it's like I didn't tell her the address. I kind of sort of told her the vicinity of it, but I described the house before I told her the area. And when she said that she was staging that house, I was just like, okay, I'm sold. Like, you a bad girl. You a bad girl. You are a bad girl. Like you about everything that you say.
I
I was like, I don't know. I was so amazing, and you just floored me with that. Like, do you remember that
do.
conversation?
I do. I do. You were telling me about the house, and I was like, I know exactly what house you're talking about. This one right here, right? You're like,
Like, you pulled
yes.
it out. Like, yeah, them the pictures right there. You're like, I did that. I did that. I'm like, oh my God. Which
so
I still want to meet the owners of that house because I want them to still give me a tour. When I say I was looking at that house, like I probably wasn't supposed to be on these people's property worth a darn, but I got out of my car. I'm looking through windows. I'm like, oh my God, this house is amazing. This is the type of house that I want. And I was just like, dang, Stardom been all up and through there, and she has designed.
and the
She
outside does
has
not do it any
designed the whole
justice.
house.
The outside does not do it any justice. The
It does
inside,
not.
you can tell well-designed homes. The flow is right. When you walk in, you walk right into the pool area. It's just amazing. There's
Yeah.
levels. So, and it's mid-century modern, true and true. So, it's a beautiful home, and it's owned by a couple who is very, well
Yeah.
known. So, I hope you
Yeah.
get that chance.
I hope I do too. You have to tell me offline who it is, and maybe I probably see them in a circle or something. Maybe so. I here's what I do. Well, I know you know them, so I am at least one person away from them. But in another circle, I may probably just be one person away from them too. Maybe we can hook it
That's
up and
it.
get that connection going.
I met other person. So it was a photographer. She actually brought me into the project, the
Yeah.
actual photography. So, do the setting up for the photography. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love it. And so let me just say that I'm very proud of you. And I invited you back on the show because you have an event coming up that you're going to tell us about a little later. But I wanted to, sort of kind of, if my discovery call, because most of the time I don't ask people what they consider to be their comeback story, like beforehand, like before we talk. And some guests have gotten away with it because it's like sometimes their stories are just so compelling, and I don't stop them because I like to hear what trials and tribulations, what your story is. I love to receive that information when the audience receives that information. Like, I'll do my research about the person prior to, but in terms of that story, I like to hear it for the first time as well. And so you shared what your comeback story was on episode 27, but that was way back when. And so we know that a life is not going to be about smooth sailings. And although you have had like a major comeback, that doesn't mean that you don't stop overcoming things. And so, you are a female, African American female business owner. And yes, we are the largest sector of of demographics speaking that are opening our own businesses, that are doing a darn thing. But I know that that comes with stressors. I know that that comes with, we talked about grows and glows. And so I wanted you to just introduce the audience to what you've had to go through, what you've had to overcome, and how you've overcome it.
So I think the best thing for me to do, and remind me of this or not, Jazz. I don't know if this was after the show or before the show. So because the season that I'm in now, my comeback story is different than the one that I may have shared the very first time around.
Absolutely.
I um the season that I'm in now is receiving the fact that I am paying my own salary.
Mm-hmm.
Studio is paying Donyea star Tollie.
Right, right,
um, Coming from a place of working for someone else for years and years and years for a long time, and then receiving a severance package after working, putting in almost 10 years to a company. And I thought I was going to be there for a little bit longer, but
right.
we heard of, when they were going to take new management was going to take over. Um, and you always hear little things, but for it to actually happen, and then how it happened, and then walking out the door and realizing that it's over, it's
Yeah,
over. But God, I had already started Rejuvenation Home Studio. So
yeah,
in 2014, I left this company to go work for another company. I left a family-owned business to work for a corporate business, and when I tell you, it was two different scenarios. But then I was summoned back to the family-owned company in 2017. 2018 February, I got my EIN for Rejuvenation Home Studio. I actually, coming out of where I was with, and I'll tell you what it was Lowe's. I learned what not to do, but I picked up so many things. And like one of the things like I would say to my younger self is to know that every opportunity, good, bad, or ugly, you have to switch your vocabulary. So there's not problems, there's opportunities. And
yeah,
opportunity provided me with what I needed to be able to start Rejuvenation Home Studio. And thank God I did, because that severance package was just enough to, get you, on your way. But I had
yeah,
a husband who believed in me and said, I got you for the next year. Don't worry, I got you. So he already saw me putting in the groundwork
yeah,
and vision. But I saw the vision realized and worked through that and powered through that. And, scared, tears, the not knowing, but man, I went to town. I got my what together. I had to. Um,
yeah.
the first thing I did, because you go through a process of emotions. You have to accept it. You have to, then be okay with it. You might be angry, in denial, whatever. But you have
Hmm.
to be okay with saying, okay, whew, let me, let me get my mind right and get this thing going.
But you know
So,
what? So before you go on, I want to stop there and say, I'm glad that you recognize that, because a lot of us don't realize that when we can't get our ish together, when we are in like this gloomy season, it's because we are in a season of mourning. And you don't just mourn the death of a loved one, you mourn the things that you've lost. So you mourn if you have left a job that you weren't anticipating leaving, and you have to go through those steps of properly grieving that. You grieve when you lose a friendship. You grieve when you've lost a vision that you had of yourself, like it was a plan, a goal, like a business didn't succeed, and that was a loss. Like, we have different forms of loss in our lives, and I think we need to give ourselves permission to grieve in order to move on. So I'm so glad that you said you started listing those steps that you have to go through, and sometimes they're not cyclical, or they don't go in concrete sequential order.
Right.
sometimes the emotion just hits when it hits. Cause man, I'm telling you, it's just like it comes in waves.
Yeah, you can go through all of them in one day, is what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I want to blow this building up, but I miss
Right,
y'all so much because y'all taught me so
right,
much.
right, right. Y'all had to let me go, really?
I'm gonna tell
Oh,
everybody
right,
about you.
right. You ain't need me no more. You know. But anyways, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Realize that you can be here today and gone tomorrow in the sense that that job is not does not belong to you. You
Right.
don't own it, you know what I mean? You're doing something for somebody else. So I didn't have to do that anymore. I don't have to do that anymore, thank God. But it's
Yeah.
without every day, like life is not like this. It's like this. Every
Yeah. Yeah.
but I had I had a network. It was a business for minorities for interior design that really helped me along the way. Just having that community
Yeah.
once a month to kind of work through some things, and all of us had similarities. So we were able to listen to somebody else and take notes, or I'm going through something and somebody else is taking notes on what I'm going through. But it was all similar and it was all in alignment with each other. So having that network, having my husband, my family support me, and really my biggest motivation was my kids. I just wanted my kids to see me succeed. I just want them to see
Yeah.
what's that they can do it, that they can have whatever they want in life, and it doesn't have to belong to nobody else but them. They can own their success, true and true, through and through.
Mm-hmm.
So 2022, July 13th, 2022, um, my life got turned around, and now we're in, what is this, March 25th of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even believe it's been almost 2 years, and just the conversations, the people that I've met, the networks that I built, the friendships that have come along the way, keep me grounded. And now I'm realizing that every day is a place of growth, and I'm being introduced to feelings and emotions that I haven't had to feel before, and that growth is uncomfortable.
Where's that coming from, though?
I think it's just being shifted in places and shook in places that you never had. You're tapping into things that you've never had to tap in before, and maybe it's things that are being resurfaced from your past that
Mm-hmm.
you swept under the rug. That now you have to, okay, you got to get over this stuff, or you won't get past this point to get to the next point.
Yeah.
So sometimes talk it out, and I'm realizing that okay, I'm stuck and I need to get unstuck. So where before I would say I never would have talked to a counselor or a therapist, I'm saying I need to be
I
so.
was just about to ask you that. I was like, you sound so mature that you sound like you have sought, a professional who can help you navigate through it.
So I'm at the tip of that. So that's my next realization of growth. That's my next growth.
I'm telling you, Star, I get it because I'm right there with you. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. So there are some things that I need to work through in order to reach my next level and elevate, because all I'm about is I'm going to keep on growing. I'm going to keep on building. I'm going to keep on scaling and elevating until I can't no more. So I would say that that is one of the biggest things. And also, I would say that another thing that comes from is because you said it before, I was so about business and so about my family that I didn't really take the time to really focus on those relationships that that I could
Mhm.
lean back on. A girlfriend circle. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
have to work through with that circle, and then you have things that you need to work through with your therapist. And that's actually something that I learned from another designer. I was just like, and she's somebody that I would actually ask to be my mentor. And I'm just like, how do you hold yourself together? How do you stay grounded? How do and she told me that it was because of those two things in her
Yeah.
life. So I would say that that's the next. And this was Christmas of 2023. I got really burned out, and
Yeah.
I was just like, how does one who taught me to be an entrepreneur? So
Yeah.
I I realized that I
Yeah.
was missing and I needed something, and those were the two things that God put me in a place to have dinner with this woman who I admire very much. Her name is Nicole White of Nicole White Interiors down in Miami, Florida, and
Hmm.
I desire to you know, be like her.
Yeah.
So she invited me to and others to dinner one night around Christmas time and just poured into us, just poured
Hmm.
in. And there are some times where I have this realization that I'm coming to a place where me and my life where I am, people are actually reaching out to me and asking me, how am I doing it? What am I doing? You know, and so now
Yeah.
I that's the things that make me happy is because I can pour into somebody else at the phase that I was, you know, this many years ago. And even with that, I have, you know, staff now. So
Come on,
I
star with the style.
thank you, girl.
You're
I am for
welcome.
others, you know, others
Yes.
are on Rejuvenation Home Studio, and I gotta keep it together.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where I am, and there's when I say constantly growing, like I just went to one of the things that I focused on in 2023 was networking because of the fact that I didn't have these circles that I needed to be in because you have
Hmm.
not do it by yourself.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I would say if I could talk to myself 10 years ago, start building a network. Um, Go to places, be uncomfortable, be in rooms with people that you don't know, and just start talking about yourself. Be confident in yourself. Say what you want to do. Say what you want. Ask for what you want.
Right.
You never know who's going to say yes. You never know who's going to put you in front of the right person. So 2023, I did that. And the things that I have, the people, the circles that I've been introduced to just this weekend, I met this group of ladies through someone who invited me to one of her initiatives. And she introduced me. She was like, "This person is going to be great for you." And we made the connection. And immediately she invited me to tea. And that circle poured into me. You know, it's just like, man, this is amazing. Thank you, God. You know, all
Yeah. Yeah.
constant growth. And I just see, it's like even though it may be hard every day, it may be tough or whatever, good, bad, or ugly. It's opportunities that I see, and I see the growth happening, and I don't see today. I don't see the present right now. I see what it can be, and I don't worry about what it is right now. I worry about what it can. I don't even worry about what it
Right.
can be. See it,
Yeah.
reaching for it every day. Whether it's a
Um,
you take two steps forward and one step back, or five steps forward and
yeah.
three steps back, whatever. As long as you're shifting forward every time, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am. I actually wrote down a list.
I love it. I love a good list now. I'm a list person, so I can appreciate a list.
I just didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So if I was to go back and talk to my younger self,
Yeah.
just graduating school, this is 2005. um, I would say know your worth, and charge for what you're worth. You know, there is a season, you have to recognize that. What
Mm,
season are you? There is a season where you have to do certain things in order to get better. Now, when I say know your worth, okay, maybe you enter into a job doing it for free with the idea that, okay, I'm going to get professional pictures out of this
yeah.
for to be a portfolio for my website. So use the barter service as much as you
Hmm.
can.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good. That's a good one.
okay, so we're that generation that is like getting introduced to all everything new, and social media is one of them. You
Hmm.
know, went without
Hmm.
having phones to having phones, and social media is fake. People do post. People are not who they post to be. So
Exactly.
um, you have to realize
Ooh.
that behind the beautiful picture, behind the scenes, behind they're not showing you the struggle, you know.
Right.
Some people may do a good job of sharing or even oversharing is what I like to call it. I like to just have a good medium, but you have to find that common ground where you're not getting caught up in the hype of it all. Where, well, how is she doing this? How you know, why am I not doing that? Why, you know, or why is
Yeah.
how was he? You know, you can't get caught up into any of
Right.
that. You know,
Right.
you have to realize that what is for you is specifically for you. That's what season you're in.
Yes. That's one of my favorite sayings. That's one of my favorites.
Which one? The season?
That what's for you is going to be for you. Like what's meant for you will never miss you.
I like that. Yes, that
Yeah.
part. Um, really get familiar with the business of doing business, and I don't care what entrepreneurial journey you go on.
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with the business. There's so many books on entrepreneurship. We some of us come from a place of not being comfortable with money,
Yeah.
so we struggle with accepting what we're worth or asking for what we're worth or you know like being uncomfortable with money and always coming from making decisions from a place of fear,
Yeah.
not being afraid to take risk, because you're focusing on the right now and not necessarily the investment that you're making, the seeds that you're planting in order to harvest in the future. Um, so, study books on cash flow, what bank accounts you have to have, profit
Mm.
versus, margins, all of those things.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
learn and know your craft. Do as much as you can for free. I said this before, but there's so many things that you can take advantage of right now that are free, educational tools.
Yeah.
Do
Give me
all
an
of it.
example of one.
Google University.
I know that's right. I know
Google
that's right.
University.
Yes.
So, but there's also
Yeah.
people are not afraid to share. Um, like other designers who are mentors. Hit them up in their DMs. Just be like, look, I'm a such and such. I just graduated. I'm really struggling with this.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? They will share. I will share. And I have done that before to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've reached out in my DMs that we've now you might become virtual
Yeah.
friends, but eventually you have the opportunity to meet in future, but in person. But like there's people who are just wanting to share with you what it takes, to get to the next step. And even though I say like one of the things is to find a mentor. Don't find a mentor until you know what you're lacking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the investment piece.
That's
What I did,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I did when I left, well, when I got my severance package, is I joined a mentorship program. And I would say that probably I was considering myself a beginner, so I signed up for this program thinking I was a beginner, but I really
Mm.
wasn't. So I needed something more than what that program gave me. But
Okay.
a lot of good things came out of it because I learned how to market. That's where I struggled was but that was the piece that I took away from it is my
Mhm.
marketing. And also the piece that I took away from it was my mindset
Yeah.
and dealing with, the emotions and because you do have to take, um, you have to be okay with somebody saying that I don't want your services or I don't want your style or I don't, you take that
Yeah.
and you have to be able to thick skin in order to take that. So you got to work on your mindset every day, and it's not just from a business standpoint; it's from a personal standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Have you ever tried to circle back to someone that wasn't in agreement with your design aesthetic and you're like, but you really wanted them as a client, or did you just feel like we are just not compatible and you just said charge it to the game and I'm good with it?
both. So
Okay.
last year,
Okay.
there are a couple of jobs that I really, really wanted because it was gonna be for us, by us,
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And they did seek me out based on a referral. And for one, I was told that I was too expensive, but I catered to what I thought I was doing, what I thought was necessary, and without any boundaries. And I ended
Mhm.
up biting my, foot. So that's what
Gotcha.
I was saying, on your worth. Don't discount yourself. Don't, because nope, you will not win in the
Right.
end.
Right.
It always comes back to bite you in the butt, some kind of way. And I will say that was my biggest learning lesson. But this was last year, around October. Come around March this year, I thought about reaching back out because they were projects that would have aligned with me. But it was more so of like, I just wanted to reconnect because my biggest thing about when I lose a client is I want them to fill out a questionnaire and just give me feedback
Yeah.
because I'm always grow. So neither one of them filled out a feedback form. And it's just like, I'm not necessarily looking to go back for them for work. I'm looking for information because I want to know, what is it about me that didn't align with us being able to move forward in your design,
Yeah.
after you've
Yeah.
already started and you have an emotional connection to it, it's hard to let that go. That's the first part. The second part was, you said, where you just said, okay, we're not compatible. We're just, so
Hmm.
it happened recently. I was in a consultation and it took everything to hold my composure together because I was undervalued. And I saw that right in that consultation. I felt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or things said that, I could have went off and, just been like, oh, you're not about to, so, but
Yeah.
I held my composure and I kind of the proposal that was way more than what I normally would have charged, but that's what it was. So
Hmm.
I'm not saying that I'm doing that out of spite. It's just that, okay, if you're going to be my client, I'm going to have to charge you for undervaluing me because there's no telling what could happen in this project.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So um, that being undervalued is one of the reasons why, like, we would not be in alignment with each other. We would not be a good fit for each other because there is I invest so much of myself in my
Hmm.
projects, leave so much of myself with my projects. There's a stamp on it when I leave. I'm I'm attached to it. I'm
Yeah.
indulged, fully encompassed in it. So I don't want to get to a point where I'm fully immersed into something that is not going to be valued in the end because I don't care how big
Yeah.
the room is. I will look at it every time and be like, have a negative connotation towards it. So
Hmm.
I walk away every time knowing that it was the perfect client, perfect design, the perfect outcome, and everybody won.
Yeah.
Everybody won.
Yeah.
So that's my
I
um
love that.
thank you. I would say listen to your inner voice. That inner voice is something else.
Yeah.
I have walked into jobs and been like, no, I'm going to take this because I need this. I need this money, or I need, no, listen, listen, listen. It's there for a reason.
Oh Lord. And listen, every time that you don't listen to that voice, it'll hit you and you'll be like, I told you. Like it's like I knew better. Like I knew it. Like I heard it and still tried to press forward. So I agree with you.
Yes. And with that being said, my next one is, you are your own worst critic. You, what did I write down exactly?
Yep.
um,
You be
you
tripping.
are
You
your
be tripping
biggest
like this.
critic.
Yeah.
And one thing I picked up from another designer, another friend of mine, she said, when you get into these moments and you're just get beating up yourself, or something is, ask yourself, who told you that? And ask yourself, who told you that?
Yeah. I like that. Who told you that?
Me. I told myself that, it consciously in my mind. I told myself that I'm not worth it. I'm not worthy. I'm,
Yeah.
kind of way, I made myself think that I don't deserve this, you
Yeah.
know? I don't deserve to walk into a room and command it. I don't deserve to speak up because I don't have a voice. Nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody wants to know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm just a
Mm-hmm.
minor over here or whatever. No, girl. It took me some months and some situations to overcome that. To overcome that, because you never want to walk away from a situation saying, "I wish I had of." That's my goal now. It's to not
Yeah.
walk away living and being intentional in every single moment that I'm in and showing up
Mhm.
as my best self
Yeah.
and being okay with, okay, if she didn't accept it, if he didn't accept it, or if I was, over the top for this person, being okay with walking away, knowing that I'm not somebody's cup of tea, milk, coffee, wine, juice, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
just
Like, have you tried a cold press juice? Because that's me.
right,
Good
come on.
for you. It's good for you. It's better than all the other stuff.
That's just like I can never go into
Yeah.
a space and walk away feeling defeated anymore. I've done it too much, too many times, and I've ran out of I wish I would have.
You know what? I think that's a beautiful place to be in. I think that's a and I think sometimes we beat ourselves up for not being able to come into that place sooner.
Mhm.
But like you said, everything has a season. Maybe you weren't equipped at a younger age to come into that season. Maybe because if you would have come into that season or you would have come with that mindset, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have been prepared to back it up,
Yes.
and it would have been detrimental to you. And so, this conversation kind of brought back full circle one of our conversations that we had, because that last statement that you just stated is it is that growth, um it's that growth, that life's growth, where you morph into this person and you're able to say what you will and what you will not accept, and that's a beautiful thing.
Setting.
It's a critical thing too, especially when you're running your own business. But I also, because I haven't branched out, the power of yet though, like I haven't branched out fully and just said I'm just a full-fledged entrepreneur. So you have to, and you already know because you've been in that workspace where you did work for someone else in two different capacities, but you know how even tough it is to take that mindset to help someone else's business.
Right.
And so it's such a dynamic place to be in, and once you learn it, it's like thank God that I can't unlearn it because I'm here now, and
Ooh,
I accept the journey for what it is. But now that I am here, this is what I will and I will not accept, and I'm unapologetic for it.
that part.
And
I'm apologetic for it.
yes, and it doesn't, like you stated, it doesn't have to come with an air of ego, you being egotistical about it, but it's just like, no, as a matter of fact, because this is what I bring to the table.
That
Like this is my value, and just being able to be positioned in a place to walk away from things that don't see that. Girl, that's such a powerful place and beautiful place and calming place to be in. And so I'm proud of you, like,
thank
and it's not like it happened overnight. Like this was a journey for you, and you've shown how much you've morphed into it. And I hear you are gearing up for an event that is going to show people, not necessarily giving them, like, I'm pretty sure you'll try to sneak in some life lessons and what you had to learn, but it's more so about what's your saying that you love to say in your business: take care of your space so that your space can take care of you. Am I saying it right?
you, better. You got it.
So I'm talking
Yes.
about.
Yes.
I, I know
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
I'm, and look, and I'm gonna tell you, I walk in my house every day, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, space. We not taking care of each other.
That's it. You gotta have a conversation with her. And I tell everybody, Your space is a her because she is nurturing. She is putting up with your, you know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
she is a
sis is putting up with my ish. I know she like, look, you want me to take care of you? You rearrange some stuff. Like, we got to get this together, sis. Like, I can't help you if you can't help me.
She wants things, Jazz. She wants some new things.
She said some new thing. Look, she want that. She want that balcony done. Is what she wants.
Listen to her. Listen to her.
So tell me about. I'm sorry. Tell what were you about to say?
I
I'm sorry.
was just saying she's talking to you. Just
Yes,
listen.
she. I'm telling you, we talk to each other every day. We talk to each other every day. She'll be like, "Good job," some days, and then she'll be like, "Did you hear what I
Right,
just said?"
right, right,
Like,
right, right.
so talk to us about this fantastic event that you have coming up this week. What can the participants expect, and why, and how did you come up with the idea to even do it?
Okay, so I'll start off with saying that this has been a long time in the making.
Yes.
I absolutely believe that my gift is God given, and He has blessed me with a way to be able to elevate the lives of others through my passion. Thank God. Um, so it's called Living Well Through Interior Design, and it's all about creating a space that can take care of you. So I'm giving some inside secrets,
Yeah.
kind of walking through you through a part of my process. And sharing with you some behind the scenes. But as I was coming up with the actual um, class or the
Mm-hmm.
what's the word I'm looking for? Not content, but yeah, I guess it
Yes.
is. I was like, oh, should I say that? Should I hold back? Should I? No, I just said, let me just lay it all out. Let me just lay it
Right.
all out.
Yeah.
There's who I'm going to be talking to that's going to pick something up and be like, I needed this today,
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about things like the power of the number 5. I'll give you a little teaser.
Thank
So one of
you.
it,
Exclusive, exclusive on the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. I said exclusive. It's an exclusive. See, that's you. I don't know. Do we? I think we needed to sing a jingle or something. I'm gonna get you to sing a jingle. Every time somebody puts an exclusive, I'm gonna just play that little sounder. But okay, we get an exclusive on the power of the number 5.
so that has to do well. One of the powers of the number
Okay.
5 is the 5 senses. So
Okay.
yeah, so sight, smell, taste, touch, and sound. Wait, did I say that all right? Sight, smell, yep, sight, smells, taste, touch, and sound.
Yep.
Yep, that's
Look,
um,
I'm up here talking about.
right, right. So how to incorporate that into your space that you're either living in or that you're redesigning.
Okay.
Um, so I'll just go into a little bit, but something
Listen, love it.
something that I was writing down today is
Okay.
and this is something that other people have heard me preach before. It's about your lighting. Your lighting is
Girl.
right. Your lighting is so important in your house.
Mm-hmm.
And so during the day, you really want to like usher in as much daylight as you can possible.
Okay.
So not having window treatments that cover up the sunlight coming in, maybe framing it out with draperies or something instead of having the vertical or the horizontal blinds or even shutters.
Oh, you were getting shutters.
Get in trouble for saying that. But I feel like that blocks
That box
automatically
is,
like
yeah.
your natural daylight that needs to come in. It's energizing to you.
Right.
At nighttime, the perfect lighting is between 2700 Kelvin and 3500 Kelvin. And that's because, yes, so if you look this up, it's a thing.
Listen, that's what I'm like. I see I'm already behind the 8 ball because you giving specific measurements, and I'm like,
the Kelvin
oh, okay.
the Kelvin scale goes from 1000 to 10,000.
Okay.
Anything of that in your residential space above 3500 is too much. Now some
Mm-hmm.
people prefer, but I will will say that it messes with their circadian rhythm.
Okay.
So this level of light mimics the sunset and the dawn of the sun coming up and down.
I
So it also
love it.
creates ease. So when you're waking up in the morning, you wake up softly, and
Right.
when you're going to bed at night, you're shutting all your systems down, slowly. So you're getting to
Right.
your routine. So that's just a piece of it. That's just a piece of
Girl,
it.
listen. You better bring that exclusive here. That's amazing. And I'm glad you said something about that light component because like my sons, they like, well, my oldest, he loves like a
You
dim light. And I'm like completely opposite. Like I'm like, I need as much light for as long as I can, but when I'm ready to go to bed, I don't want to see an ounce of light. Like I'm just like I am I am on like directly on the opposite sides of the spectrum in both areas. Like I am on the far right or the far left. I either wanted it like bright. But what I noticed in my house, like even now, like even sitting, with the light in front of me, I'm like, this house needs more lighting. Like that's what this house needs because I feel a certain way when I come home and I'm like, there's not enough light. Like I need some more lights. So I'm glad you said that.
right. So I'll be letting you know about different ways that you can add different light levels at different levels.
Okay. I love it. And so like we don't have to bring anything, when we come, give us the location and then like what can we expect like with the ambiance? Because I know were you gonna talk about more?
Well, no, that was it. Let me
Okay.
get the dates. So it starts at 5:30. I have champagne and cupcakes. It's at June Taylor. That's located in downtown Lakeland. So the format goes 5:30. We'll do a meet and greet. You can eat your cupcakes and champagne, and maybe you make some purchases because of that. It is at one of the cutest vintage shops in town. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other portion, starting at 6, is we'll actually go into the class. I am working on a booklet, which I might turn into an ebook. But you'll the people that have bought tickets to attend the class, they will get this book to walk away with. And tickets are still on sale. I have a few
Yes.
left. You can go visit my Facebook page. It's either on my personal page, Tollie, or on my Facebook page, Rejuvenation Home Studio. And there's an event created that will take you directly to the actual link to purchase tickets. So from 6 to 7, we'll have the class, and then from 7 to about 7:30, we'll do question and answer. You can ask me anything, any advice that you need in that moment. Interior designer, all yours. Take advantage.
Yes.
So that'll pretty much be the format.
Listen, I when you say it's a long time coming, I am so glad that you are finally doing this because remember, like I remember when you did like your business spotlight when we were at the Martin Luther King Jr. parade and they were going around and they were, interviewing different businesses or they afforded different businesses to do a business expo. And girl, when I walk by your booth, I'm like, this girl has created a living room in these people event space. Like she is legitly selling her business. And from there, you have just, you have soared. And a lot of people like to know about your services. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, I always like I'll listen to what people say that they need. Like I have someone right now who asked me because they're redoing their home, and they're like, "Well, do you know like a designer who deals with custom cabinetry and all that?" And I thought about you because when you used to work at Lowe's or whatever, I know you used to do kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, and I'm like, yes, and I'm gonna put you in contact with her. So just as sure as I see her on Thursday, she will be getting your contact information, just so you know. I don't know if that's something you specialize in now, but I feel like the two of you would really hit it off in terms of client professional. You'll really, really like her too.
Okay.
So I I anytime that I meet someone. And I think you know this about me. Like if I know someone who does something, like I love connecting people.
Yeah.
Like that's just something that I really like doing because it's like, no, I have a good person for this. No, have you ever talked to this person? Have you heard of this person? Because you need to connect with this person. And you are someone that I continue to have on my mind. Like even like when someone is talking about my realtor friends, like if they want to talk about staging a home or whatever, I'm like, you need to hit up Star. Go to her website, go to Rejuvenation Home LLC. Like I always say that. And then I've always wanted to ask you, like I've never asked this before, but when I was thinking about I'm cheating y'all because I'm going to the Q&A right now. So, Miss Tollie, when you're booked by a contractor, like what is the scope of what you can do as a designer? Like, are you the person that can design like the fireplace? Like, do you design like the aesthetics? Like, can you like what's do you have like any limitations to that?
No, the biggest thing that I would just like say is if you are in the conceptual phase of any project,
Mhm.
like design build, that's the time that you need to get an interior designer involved because between your contractor and the interior designer, and if there's an architect involved, that's the dream team. That's where the magic happens.
Okay.
The where I come into play is pretty much, like I'm not necessarily, if you're doing a fireplace, we're going to figure out why you're doing a fireplace, why it needs to be here, how big it needs to be. We're figuring out all of that. It's not just, okay, I'm just going to, it needs to look like this. There's some homework that has to go behind that. And then the contractor is going to be like, okay, in order for us to make it like this, the way that you design it, we need to do this, this, and this. And then we also will visit local showrooms to pull together the product materials. And of course, the contractor helps us with doing all the measurements on the actual amounts of, tile or whatever.
Mhm.
So um, it's the perfect time to get somebody involved. Right now, I'm working with my current design build right now is in Tampa. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, I'm telling their business, but unfortunately, they got me involved kind of late. And
Yeah.
it's cost them a lot of change orders. So, in order to avoid that, in the beginning, you want to get professional eyes on what you're planning and don't hire a handyman, please.
Okay.
There are certain skills, Hunty, that come with the planting behind all of this. It's not just the fireplace.
Yeah.
It's got to be a working fireplace, a functional fireplace, and a fireplace that's going to be timeless and classic. So elevations, floor plans, the inner workings of it, all that happens with the team, the contractor
Yeah.
and
That's good to know. That's very, very good. That's very, very good to know. What do you want to come about? Like what's the goal of this event that you're having?
really, honestly, I'll be honest. One of the things that had happened last year was people didn't know who I was.
Okay. Okay.
Didn't know I was
Okay.
here. People still don't know that I exist. Luckily, through marketing efforts and through just amazing people that I've made connections with, them saying my name in rooms that I'm not in, it's just done wonders. And the Facebook shout outs, everything. I now have a pipeline where I'm getting, somebody from referral, a word of mouth, Google or a Facebook,
Good.
or whatever. So at one point, Lakelander had this choice awards that came out.
I
I
remember.
wasn't, I wasn't on the list.
I remember because I was gonna say I remember because I went through your post and I remember you saying that you weren't on the list and you were saying to have you as a write-in, like go and vote and say you want us on the list.
Right. So that being said, that was one of the reasons because of name recognition, brand recognition, and
Yes.
just let people know that it's a bomb ass interior designer up in Polk County.
And is
And
and
is.
is and I'm gonna give you some information from my babies at Academy Prep Center of Lakeland
Aw,
because
thank
Star
you.
came when I first came on board last year as the enrichment coordinator, and I was thinking about different enrichments that we could bring to students. And I'm like, if I am tasked to create an enriching experience for these kids, what do I think they want to do? And so yes, I sent out a survey to the students beforehand, but then on my board, I would write down what I thought, and interior design was one of them. Um, and lo and behold, when I got that survey back from the kids, there were several kids that were interested in interior design. And the very first person I thought about was Miss Tollie. All right. And so I reached out to her and I was like, can you come and partner with my school, like with my students? It's like from 3:30 to 4:45, and you teach them about at the ground level what kids can handle at the middle school level about interior design. And I was so impressed with how you were able to, evoke that true designer within them. And I'm gonna tell you, to this day, because instead of them doing a semester long enrichment, they get the opportunity to switch their enrichments every semester. And the past 2 semesters, people have wanted me to bring back interior design. So if you cannot do it, I need you to give me somebody who can, but I still want you to come back and speak to them
Okay.
because they want to see you. But and see, she did things with them. Like if we had our Christmas program, like they put together our set, like she taught them how to scale it, how to do all of it. Like it was so great to see. And I loved what you were doing with the kids. Like you were pouring back into the kids, and it's like they really, really liked it, because I do have some kids who really want to go into interior design. So I want to say publicly, thank you for giving up your time to do that and partnering with us. And you have a open welcome to come back if you have been in a schedule, but that because they do miss it. But that, you are not only, I feel, with this event going to get your name out there. I feel that you're going to meet the right people. You have it in the right location. I saw that I had Miss Claudia on. Claudia owns an event space in Lakeland, so maybe you can partner with her to do a future event. Because what a way to display how you can design. You have a whole event space for you. And she's
Don't get
great to work with.
don't
But I
threaten
feel,
me this time.
listen, I'm telling you, Claudia, you still on because I saw you there. So make sure you guys connect, and I'll make sure I inbox her your information as well. But I know that this is going to be an amazing event. I'm proud of you. Continue to step out on faith, and just like I know when people play this back, they will get the nuggets that they need in order. Really, it's self-preservation is really what it is. It's really living in your true calling of what God called you to be. There's Claudia. She said, yes, we would love that. See, yep, boom, already connected, star. Boom.
Hey, girl. Hey.
So boom. But just the things that I heard you say, just because I know you, just from what I know of you, and just the woman that you are progressing in, the businesswoman that you are progressing in. Like I won't put my confidence behind just anybody. And I will say that if you are looking for a very talented, passionate interior designer, like, did you just hear how she gave not even kilowatts? Because I'm sitting over here looking at trying to figure out what kilowatt I got. She talking about Calvin's. What? So, like, and she loves this stuff. I was talking to her and I'm like, girl, I was like, I don't even know if I want to go to a new house, because I don't want to sit there and pick out all these fixtures and all these light fixtures. And she was just like, that's what I love to do. She was like, I can just get lost in looking at thousands and hundreds, and I love it. And it's like, to a certain extent I do, but then I'm like, damn, just put the stuff
You
together
get
and I can just
right.
decorate around it now. Come on. What color you want the brick? Just give me the brick, and I
right.
can just
You
match it up
pick
with
it
some
out.
that I like. Now I ain't got time. Don't be telling me what it's come from. I don't care if it came from Persia. Does it look? No, I'm just playing.
I never
But
even thought about
listen,
it. Be like, you pick it. Just surprise me.
I just trust you. Like I literally, and I don't think I will. I don't know if I would ever, even the most talented designer, I don't know if I would ever just say, you just design it. But I think I would give a designer one space in my house to do, and I would just be like, you have complete autonomy. I may tell you what I like you said with the consultation. I would just be like, go for it. And Star, you are one of those people where I feel like, yeah, you would do a bomb job because I know you have your systems in place now. You've been doing this for over a decade, probably like close to 2 decades now with your formal education. You work with some amazing clients that she can't even mention who she don't work with online. If y'all caught that, did y'all catch that? Because I caught that. I'm gonna have to figure out who she talking about off air.
Yeah.
But it
We
is
could
all coming
meet over.
full circle. What did you say?
I say we could meet over dinner. A glass of wine or something.
That part. See, this girl, she know me. See, she know me. But like honestly, like y'all, when just go to her website www.rejuvenationhomellc.com.
Rejuvenation.
Go to her website. I'm sorry.
RejuvenationHomestudio.com.
I'm sorry. Rejuvenationhomestudios.com. Studio.com. But go to her website and look at how professional it looks. Look at the aesthetic of it and look like like fill out the questionnaire. Fill out um what did you call it, Star? The
The
phone
packet.
call, the discover call.
Yeah.
The
To schedule the discovery call, you have to fill out that contact form on the Work With Us page.
So fill out that and do that. And if you're not ready to book her, like inbox her though. Like inbox her and just let her know that you saw her on this podcast episode and you want to learn more. But go on her website first to learn more. Google her because you can Google her and you can pull up her works because she is published. But I'm putting my stamp behind Star because I just know of her works. I know how talented she is. I know that she gives back in a tremendous way. Like she's given back to like a child that had a terminal illness. And it just really touched my heart. But it's like this little boy was able to get his dream room. Like she literally redid his room in a space theme that was so amazing. And for her to be able to do that in that baby's life, like from things like that to giving back to the community to that mentorship, like if this is what you truly want to do and truly do it on a professional level, I will tell you before you reach out to her, this is a professional. Like this is not somebody who is like your auntie or your cousin who just loves to design. She is someone that's going to talk to you in professional garb, okay, in professional language. So just be serious, like when you book her, be serious to learn. And if you don't believe me, come to her event on Star Wins the date and time.
Thursday, March 28th at 5:30.
Thursday, March 28th, 5:30 at June Taylor is downtown Lakeland, Florida. Get your tickets. All you have to do is go on her website, go on her personal page, Star Tollie. It's a personal page. And then Rejuvenation Home Studio is her business page on Facebook, on Instagram. That's how you can find her. But that information is there. And then the website that will take you to the link where you can purchase your ticket is there too. We want to sell out this event. It is worth every penny. Networking, get you some hors d'oeuvres. By the way, she can cook too. I don't know if she did it. She probably didn't. But if she did, you would think a professional did it because her charcuterie boards are amazing. Like anything that she and her twin makes, good Lord. Whoo, girl.
You miss Larissa. I miss Larissa. Do she hear me?
Listen, Larissa, we both miss you, girl. Girl, Larissa will have you at now. See how her sister designs homes. Like her twin does the same thing with food. Like this girl, when I say is amazing with food, now they both are. I don't want to talk up the other one from they like this. They've always been like this together. Like they are both talented. But you definitely, I wanted her to come on today because I knew that her event was going to be this Thursday. And I was like, you know what? I want to give her an opportunity to promote her event to another audience. And I wanted to help her, promote it. And so that genuinely comes from the heart, Star. And I really hope you sell out, and I hope you make the right connections with this event. And I know you will.
Thank you, Jazz. And I just want to take the time to give you your flowers as well. I appreciate every one of them. I am so proud of you.
Oh,
What you said, 100 and what?
15.
See, I was about to, no, you don't even want to hear what I was about to say. 115 episodes.
Yes.
And, you keep talking about comeback stories, but, I just appreciate you and who you are and who you represent in my life. And, we have a connection that I will always cherish. And, I appreciate you for allowing me to come on your platform and talk about my event. Like, everybody is not able. You hear me? So I appreciate you and what you do. Continue to do what you do. Be a beacon in this community. Show up. I know you always show up. She always gonna show up, y'all.
I tried.
But
I
listen,
tried.
I have adored watching your kids grow up. Just, it's just been amazing, and just to see where we are right now, I just love it. I just appreciate you and keep on doing what you're doing.
I will. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. And before we leave here, I want to leave this message that it is absolutely okay to grow. And it is uncomfortable at times, but out of that uncomfortable state, it will propel you to such greater heights than you would have been just being your same person. And so if you want these opportunities to come your way, if you want to elevate, your personality, your character, your skill set has to match these goals that you have. So just never be afraid to grow. And sometimes with us, sometimes it is changing the inner workings of ourselves, because sometimes, like Star stated, sometimes we are our worst critic, and sometimes we are the ones that are holding us back. And like she stated, whenever you feel that you can't do something or you are not worthy of something, like her friend told her, ask the question. I'll let you say it, Star.
Who told you that?
Who told you that? Who told you that you couldn't charge this? Who told you that you couldn't change your career? Who told you that you couldn't make that comeback? Because yes, you can. All right. So I want you to make sure that you hear all of that. I hope you have received all of these fantastic, phenomenal jewels. And so when I repost this episode, you will have information, and I'll even copy over the link as to how you can get your tickets for Star's event. So we want to sell her out this Thursday, March 28th, starting at 5 p.m. Right, Star?
5:30.
5:30. From 5:30 to 6, you're going to have your light cocktails, you're going to have hors d'oeuvres, and then from 6 to 7 is going to be the event, and then from 7 to 7:30 you have a Q&A with her going down downtown Lakeland at June Taylor. So make sure you support her. All right. www.rejuvenationhomestudio.com. Did I miss anything?
Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. Listen, kiss the babies. Tell everybody they not babies at all,
Girl,
but kiss your grown people. Kiss your grown people, because even yeah, even Dayon, I mean, he ain't even listen. These kids ain't kids no more. They continue and they leaving us behind. But kiss everybody. Send my love. Tell everyone I said hello. And I'm so proud of you. And so keep striving. And sis, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out to me. Whatever it is you're trying to do, I will definitely support, because you definitely show support for me, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. And ditto.
That part. All right. So everybody, listen, this has been episode 115 of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast with my special guest, the CEO, the proprietor of Rejuvenation Home Studios, Miss Donyea Star Tollie. And so make sure that you go to her event. If you can't go to the event, send her well wishes, inbox her so you can learn more, refer her, because y'all know how powerful a referral is. Trust me, she's very professional. She's very talented. She knows exactly what to do when it comes to interior design, commercial and with your homes as well. Okay. So I want you to make sure that you are a part of my Jazzy crew and you are called all the way up to 115 with the episodes. All you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast channel. That's Jazzy, Jazzie, Conversations with Jazz. Make sure that you subscribe, you hit that notifications bell, and you leave me a review in the comment section. Also, follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And remember, now is the time for a dope comeback. I believe you can come back from anything with God, the right resources, knowing how to use those resources effectively, and your willingness to put in the work. If you need a host for your next event, reach out to me and book me, jazz up your event. I can also bring my podcast to you. I can have a live podcast at your special event as well. All you have to do is reach out to me on Gmail. That is Jazzy, Jazzie, conversations with jazz at gmail.com. And so until next Monday, I want you to make sure that you know that you can get a comeback. And I also want you to continue to be my gold digger. That's GOALDIGGER. See you guys later and have a fantastic rest of your Monday. See you later,
Bye,
Star.
girl.
Bye. Good night.